Hi team, how are we doing? Happy Monday. Sorry, coming in hot. We were over on the top 100 call at corporate and I'm giddy about the updates. I'm not going to share. I'll let Kelly and Tyler decide on the where and when there, but really exciting things coming that I had no idea about. So I'm not talking about the collagen elixir. Lindsay Hoffbuhr here. For those whom I have not met yet, do we have our guest of honor? Kristy, my love, I'm looking for you. Unmute yourself when you're
here.
On. Yay! Oh, there you are. Perfect. I was staring right at your screen, honey. You guys, we have the best guest tonight. I'm going to wait just 1 minute. We'll let everyone hop on. I know Monday, 5 p.m. on my side of the country is a bit rushed. Everyone ready for Thanksgiving this week? Yeah? Take your turkey out of the freezer if you haven't yet. I got a lot of responses to that on Instagram today. Especially for some of us newbies who have never cooked Thanksgiving dinner before. Well, I want to start by introducing our incredible guest tonight. Kristy De Leon is a professional in every sense of the word. She is Impact Maker's newest 2-star Golden Circle Crystal Executive. So give her a big round of applause for that. That is a huge accomplishment. It's a remarkable annual income, but we also know it's just a pit stop for her. So Kristy, please know how thrilled all of us were for that announcement just a short week and a half ago. Kristy's sponsor is Sonia Mafous. I know we all know Sonia. They met at a networking event about 3.5 years ago, connected. Kristy started on the products and was in the middle of getting her doctorate. She was in the middle of her dissertation, which happens to have been in the health and wellness space, profiling how health between couples improves relationships. I think we'd all love to pick her brain on that. In the weeks and months and years to come. That's remarkable, but she is a doctor of psychology. She has 2 precious little boys who both require a little bit more of her with some of their needs and learning needs, which I think is, again, very inspiring. And she's a fire wife. So we know that she does a lot of single parenting as a fire wife. And I love sharing a bit about her life because it shows us that the busiest people are the most productive. The busiest people are the most successful. And a powerful part of her story is she's used these products for 3.5 years. She became a student of network marketing, a student of isogenics. She was not in a rush to make money quit and quit even faster. She didn't have this timeline of, oh, if I don't make X, Y, and Z in 1 year, I'm out. She committed to the products, committed to the process, weaved it into her life where it made sense and where it fit. And, you know, since she's been done with her dissertation and her doctorate, she's hit the ground running. So I think her story is a huge testament to anything is possible. There's always going to be the best time, but there's definitely no perfect time. And from what I've learned and witnessed, she is a master of the follow-up space and how to close. Her and Sonia have built this beautiful infrastructure of systems, which we know works really well for people. It's not required, but it can work really well. So Kristy, without further ado, will you please share us parts of your story I might have missed? And then we'll dive into some of the questions I have for you. Thank you for your time and being here.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Hoffbuhr, thank you so much. It is such an honor and what a beautiful introduction. You guys, I hope that what I share with you really is of service to you and really helps you close out these last 5 weeks in the year in the way that you would love to in your business. And I think with all of you carving out time on a Monday, it's because you really see the value in what we have to share with others. So like Lindsay shared, I started with these products 3.5 years ago. Like I feel, you know, a common story for many of us is that we wake up one day and feel like our body has checked out. And that happened to me at the age of 37. I tried going back to what worked for me in the age of 20, of working out a lot and, minding what I was eating amongst all the spinning plates of, at that time, being in my doctorate program, having my kids, having my growing private practice, and being a fire wife, and none of those things worked. And I was desperate at that point. As I mentioned very briefly about my career, I had a private practice that was growing, that I was very excited to be putting into use my license as a marriage and family therapist. But I felt like I was getting sucked into a hamster wheel, that unless, I was in the service industry and I had to have a constant funnel of clients in order to create a certain income that I knew would make changes for my family. And I started to feel overwhelmed by that and feel that, gosh, when will I ever get to the other side? There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many clients that I can see for my own mental health. And I want to be able to spend time with my kids. I didn't put myself through so much schooling to not have time to serve the ones I love. So I was already starting to be open to residual income because I knew that was the ticket, right? With residual income comes freedoms that we cannot get with linear income. So cue in seeing Sonia's post about how this nutritional rebalancing system with Isagenix had helped her not only lose those last 15 pounds from her first child, but maintain it off. And for me, that was the struggle. One thing I want to mention also, because it might resonate with you or someone that you're trying to help, I also have Hashimoto's. And when you have Hashimoto's, it is very difficult to lose weight, as well as energy is always an issue as well. So, seeing her post, and then of course, as Sonia does so elegantly, is weave in the business. And so it caught my eye that through this vehicle of Isagenix, she was able to step away from her 6-figure school psychologist job and have the time freedom that she desired with her family. Now, I will very honestly tell you, as I share with all of my people, I was very skeptical about the income opportunity because, quite honestly, I didn't know anyone in my in my circle who was successful in network marketing. I had a lot of friends on Facebook who were not doing it well, and I think we could all agree we don't want to be that person, right? So I reached out to Sonia, though, in regards to the nutrition because I was desperate for it. And I said, okay, let's do a 30-day system because I'm ready. I need the change. By day 5, I woke up with that energy and electricity that we know so well here by using our products consistently. I was down 6 pounds and 5 inches in a week that seemed effortless and simple. Needless to say, I was sold that I would never go a day without Isagenix because I never wanted to go back to day 0. And I knew that this could be a very simple way for my children to get what they needed. My oldest is on the autism spectrum and is a very picky eater. So getting the nutrients for him was always something that was on the back of my mind if he was getting everything he needed. And then also for my husband, because if, God knows what he was eating at the fire station. They bring him lots of cookies and pies, but nothing that he needs. So this and all the carcinogens and toxins that he's exposed to on a daily basis, I knew that our nutrition could help him in that way. And so I became open to finding out more because I also saw, okay, Sonia was a school psychologist. Her husband was a successful attorney. They obviously saw something that was worth their time. It would be dumb of me not to check it out. And what I saw completely blew me away, that using this vehicle to impact lives on such a grand scale, right? Solving the 2 main pain points that I would see in couples who would sit across from me, the struggles of having the energy to communicate with their partner, and also the financial stress that was breaking apart their marriage. Here was a simple solution that could help with both of those pain points. So like Lindsay said, I became a student. I knew that I already had some great skills from creating my own private practice and helping build up others. And I became open to how I can translate those skills to this space. So all along these 3 years, I've been consistent about sharing, not just about the nutrition and all the benefits that it's giving me on a daily basis, how it's helping me not only, those first 30 days and that initial weight loss, but beyond, right? Constantly growing, seeing how I can evolve. What's the next chapter in my health journey? Now that I am 40, now that I'm approaching that next chapter in life, the goals continue to evolve. So not only am I sharing that, but I'm also sharing about the business, sharing about what I'm excited about, highlighting leaders that are entering our group, highlighting other leaders, right? And hoping that through those shares, it is planting seeds of hope and inspiration for others, that we know right now there are people who have such high depression and anxiety because of everything going on, and really are praying for the solutions that Isagenix has to offer. So, with that, Lindsay, did you want to say something?
You're a remarkably eloquent woman, and I hope that you know that. And I know that you do talk to people for a living, but I think I can speak for all of us when I say we can listen to you all day. So thank you. You're so eloquent, right, everybody? So thank you, Kristy, for sharing your story. It's a story of hope. It's a story of possibility and of staying the course. And I really appreciate that. We are all well aware we're in an industry that we want quick success, quick fixes, quick money, quick weight loss. And it's just a constant reminder that's not how the greatest successes in life works out. So thank you for reiterating that. So Kristy, because you are so wonderful at enrolling and you're so methodical in your follow-ups, will you please share with us how you handle your follow-ups, the cadence you keep, how you keep track of your prospect or your future customer base, and anything of value you can add with why you're so successful at it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for those beautiful words. Yes. So in regards to follow-up, and really thinking about what I've been doing for the last 3 years, I jotted down some of the key points that I have kept close to me and guide me. So really something that I want to stress with you all is the follow-up begins at the end of the consultation. That means that before you end the consultation, if it's someone that needs more time, someone that wants to talk to their spouse, someone that wants to do some extra research, we know all those, it's so important to set up a follow-up date. So one of the things I make sure to ask, even before setting up that follow-up date, is, what other information would help you in deciding what is the best system for you, right? And I write down what it is that they need, whether they want more information, they have a certain health concern, right? We have such beautiful tools and resources through isagenixhealth.net. Leverage that, isoproduct.com. And then I make sure to ask, when would be a good day to follow up with you this week? Would it be better to text or call, right? Getting very specific. And if it's a call, then setting up that appointment, day and time. And if they tell you, it's like, yes, they love it, but it's, not right now, then I make sure to ask, would it be okay to follow up with you in a month? As we know, things can change for people. Things do change for people. So very important that you get that information from this person. You already invested 20, 30 minutes time of your time into that conversation, that it would be important to also to make sure that you are setting up that precedence with them that, okay, you shared with me your goals and dreams. Those are important to me. And I want to follow up with you because I meant what I said when I had something that I know could change your life, or that I thought of you into using this nutrition. So I always make sure, once I have that date and time locked in with the person, I mark my calendar. I definitely put good use of the calendar app on my phone. I set an alarm for it because, as I mentioned, it is so important to follow up with your word on following up. It's showing them your commitment to them, the goals that they have shared with you, and really the commitment to your business. It's setting the tone for the customer service that they will receive once they do get started with you. And we know for a lot of people, it's pushing them out of their comfort zone. They're trying something new, or they're willing to try, similar type products again. And they might be very scared and full of doubt. So really important, you guys, to follow up with them, especially when they give you a date and time. In regards to organization, I know Sonia has shared in Team Anchored this Evernote. As Lindsay mentioned, we have a system for our team, for anyone who is open to sharing or wants to consider this as a business opportunity. In that Evernote, there is a spreadsheet, and I follow that spreadsheet. I fill out every comment column that's on there, and I make sure to go back and look at it, every week, so that I know who I need to reach out to this week. And then I also go through, because as we know, life can be very full. I go back at the beginning, either at the end or the beginning of the week, and I go back through my text messages, my DMs, and my PMs to see if there was anyone that happened to slip my mind or didn't make it on the paper, so that I can make sure to add them to that follow-up funnel to make sure that they don't slip through the cracks. Something in regards to following up is our point of view with it. Because granted, we could have all the systems, all the spreadsheets, all the lists, but if our point of view is off about it, or our feelings around it are off, that's really going to determine whether we do it and how we do it. So I want to plant seeds for you to really consider how you see it in regards to following up to people, that process. How do you feel about it? What has helped me has been removing any attachment to it. I don't want people who aren't ready. I think we could all agree that when it's people that you feel like you are dragging along, or have an objection about using any of the products, or don't want to follow the easy daily schedules, it kind of sucks the fun out of everything, right? And I want this business to be fun for everybody, including myself. So I see it as, okay, if it's another no, if it's another, I'm not ready yet, or give me another month. All right, got you down. I will be following up with you in another month. And that's what I did actually with Cami, one of our biggest business builders. It was 5 or 6 times that I followed up with him, but I knew that, it would only be a matter of time for him to say yes. I knew that we had the solutions that not only would help him on his health journey, but really help him in the bigger mission that he has in life. And that's something that I feel like part of that process, part of that initial consultation that I do take a lot of time in, is getting to know people's struggles, right? Finding out their pain points, because I really care about that conversation. And I do take on a bit, like their goals become my goals. And I want them to feel that they're not a sale, they're not a PIB, they are important to me. And I want to make sure to be able to guide them on this journey in such a way that honors where they're at, but also gently nudges them closer to their goal. So really, I want to reiterate that there is such a mindset going into the follow-up, right? That if I don't follow up with them, someone else will. I think we've heard it from Kathy that the fortune is in the follow-up. So it's so important to keep any type of organization that you find works best for you, right? Whether it's a written down list or a spreadsheet that you're going to connect to, the most important thing is that you find the system that works for you, and not have multiple sheets all over the place because that can get disorganized and crazy real quick, right? Also, speaking about mindset with follow-up, I really get excited to follow up with people because I get excited at the possibility that this could be the time, right? We've all heard that it's 7 to 12 exposures, I think, for someone before they say yes. depending on the person. And so if you think about it, when we watch TV or when we're scrolling on social media, how many times do you see the same ad before you finally give in and click on it? Now, whether you buy it and take that chance, that's a whole nother situation, but you see it quite a bit. And they know that, which is why they keep those ads consistent. Lindsay, in regards to cadence, if the person that I spoke with, if they say like, okay, follow up with me on a certain date, and I do, and it's still a no, then the funnel that I put them in is, I'll ask if it's okay if I could follow up in a month and see if that's okay for them right at that point. But if it's a person that, maybe I'm establishing a relationship with, I post a lot in our local moms groups. They have a Business Monday, and I make sure to put a post about an upcoming challenge or, sharing a transformation. So if I have sent this person a video or some other type of tool that they've requested, once I send that to them, I will follow up 2 days after that. If I don't hear from them, then it's a week after that. And then after that, it becomes each month that I follow up with them. I do also, break up that month, or it becomes a quicker follow-up if we have a special Isagenix promotion or a challenge. I will reach out to them and let them know, hey, I know that you mentioned you were interested in weight loss and energy. We have a challenge coming up. Is it your time? Would you like more information now? Let's see. And the other thing that I wanted to make sure to mention is that following up doesn't mean Isagenix 24/7. It could be messages of just checking in with the person, right? If it's a close friend or family member, or someone maybe that you're even establishing a relationship, that you are still engaging with them in their stories or their posts, commenting, liking, that you are maintaining that relationship with them, that you're continuing to build that trust. Because again, health journey can be something that can have a lot of emotions tied to it. So I really, take it to heart and really find it so important to continue to build that trust with them, even outside of Isagenix conversations, because I really feel like that helps them see that, my intention through my reach outs, through inviting them to take a look, were genuine, that I really care about them, that they're not just a sale or a number. With that being said, it's also so important to be consistent with your social media. Every story, every post is a follow-up. It's showcasing, right, the benefits of our products and the lifestyle, and it's keeping you on their radar, so that if it's maybe in between that cadence of following up with them, they see a post or they see a story, they reach out to you and like, okay, I'm ready. You keep talking about energy. I keep seeing you working out. You talk about how easy these smoothies are and how great they taste. I'm ready to try. And I've had a lot of people follow up with me because of staying consistent. Lindsay, before I jump into closing, any questions or anything I could expand on in regards to following up?
Good question. Let's recap the brilliance of some of the things you just shared. I agree with you, Kristy, in that any one methodology of how you're keeping track of your prospects isn't for everyone. Some like spreadsheets, some want pen and paper, but your key point was don't have more than one. And I think a lot of us have fallen into that trap of Post-it notes or notes on your phone, your spiral notebook from your last event. So uniformity is important, but what works for you might not work as well for the next person. So that point was brilliant. Variety in your follow-up is so important. That's authentically building that relationship. And I view every touch or every follow-up as a building block to this foundation I'm creating with this person who might be very new in your life. So I think, again, to your point, the follow-ups don't always have to be directly Isagenix. You can authentically build that relationship, which we know is so much easier with social media now than ever before. And lastly, social media, it's that billboard on the freeway. It's your touch point. It's your commercial on the unpaid for version of your Netflix series. That free platform allows us to slide in in a genuine and authentic way in all the in-between times when we're not speaking with a potential customer. So just wanted to reiterate those brilliant points you shared, Kristy. Thank you. And you guys, the last topic we're going to cover tonight is how Kristy is so good at and how she conducts her close to any sale, regardless of what the close ends up being. But key points, again, methodology. Are we Zooming? Are we on the phone? Are we texting? What is your go-to best case scenario, how you like to handle closing the sale and the customer, Kristy? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So in regards to closing, Sonia had shared on the Team Anchored Biz page the initial consultation that her and I, filmed that we did together. That really, you guys, has been the best system in following that exact process of sharing my story. Well, first, touching base again with the person or getting to know them a little bit, sharing my story, really digging into their goals, how their days look like, right? And then going into making the best recommendations before sharing with them how we're turning our free budget into an income producing asset. So my go-to is Zooms. It doesn't even, it's not even a question anymore. When they say they're interested, and this is what I'm teaching, we're teaching all our people is, okay, you're interested, you want to know more, awesome. Let's hop on a Zoom where we can share with you everything, which day and time works better for you. And that's it, right? So, really going and kind of touching on what I shared with follow-up, closing has a mindset too. So the mindset that you bring in prior to the call, I go in expecting them to choose the value pack and that our wealth solution would bless them. My belief is so strong in both. It impacts how I share as well as what questions I ask and how I listen, right? Because in the back of my mind, I know that we have a solution that will help them. And so along the way, I'm always listening for areas in their life that Isagenix can bless. And so following the initial consultation, system that was shared in the Team Anchored Business page, that same recording is what I follow each and every time, making sure to really get the details of their day so that you can, suggest the best system for them. Because once they also hear themselves on how much they're spending or how they're barely eating, right? Then they see and you can kind of go and circle back and be like, wow, well, no wonder you're so sluggish. You share that you're so sluggish, or, your body's not changing. It kind of reflects in what you're eating and not eating. And then, what I do share, and this is something that I've been very consistent about, is regardless of their spending habits, I make sure to share with them all of the packs. So for example, for the case that I feel that I hear most often with women is that they're barely eating anything. So actually, I just was on a call before this one with a woman who was barely eating anything. So saying, that, you spend $20 a day did not apply there. And I feel that we may be getting that a lot. So what I do say is, okay, I know you're spending very little per day, which you're seeing is not getting you closer to your goals. I want to share with you my top 3 recommendations so that you can hear all the options. And then we'll pick the one that you feels best for you. Because I never want to prejudge what the person is willing to invest in order to reach their goals. Because that's in a way placing any of my limiting beliefs or doubts on them, which is a huge disservice for them. And I want to empower them to make the best decision that serves their health and their budget. So once I share the value pack, I pause and I ask, how does that sound? They say, sounds good. Okay. What flavors would you like? Are you dairy free or do you prefer dairy? We go right into it. But if they say, hey, it sounds good, but, cost is a bit much, then I just move into sharing the other packs. I share with them, okay, these are the other packs. Here are the differences. And then we go from there. So what if, we get to all that and then it's like, no packs work, right? We've all been there. I move into sharing then about our referral program, and I draw out the comp plan just like how Sonia did. So you see, I had whiteboard from this previous meeting that we had. This has been one of like the best investments is a whiteboard, and I draw it all out. We talk about who are the two people they love most. Show them how to get their pack paid for. I always share from the value pack, because if they are interested, and I want to assume that everyone is interested in making more income or having a sideline income stream, that I want them to see which is the pack that's going to give them the highest return of investment. And then once I share everything, I circle back to them about which pack would work now that they see how they can cover the cost and get that pack, if not completely paid for, or more than half. And then I'll move into saying, okay, so with the two people you mentioned, let's reach out to them and set up a Zoom. I will share with them everything just like I did with you. Which days and time work for you to set up a Zoom with them? And we go right into helping them get their pack paid for. Sometimes I do need to remind the person that they are going to be spending that money anyways during the month, right? When we piecemeal it out, it doesn't seem as much until we go back and add up all those receipts and kind of gasp at how much we have spent from just random stores and places that don't do anything for our goals. And that, that random spending is probably more than what they would spend right on isogenics, and it doesn't move them any closer to their goals. So kind of going back to what I previously shared, some people need multiple follow-ups, right? Sometimes we have to care more about their goals than they do, which is why it's so important to have a follow-up funnel that works for you, and definitely showing them all the different options that they can get started, and helping them pick the one that not only fits best for their budget, but for their goals too.
Brilliant, Kristy. Thank you. So team, if you haven't seen, Sonia shared the link last week on our mastermind group of the role playing that both Sonia and Kristy did together. They filmed it, and I had asked Sonia if she would also, but you guys already had it on deck. I've learned a tremendous amount from watching this role playing, and how this beautiful team that's growing so fast right now handles their prospecting calls and closing. So if that's a way that you learn well, and or you're looking for some of the verbiage that these women and Cami and men use on their team, then I encourage you to study that recording. It was posted in a thread. Sonia, if you wouldn't mind making a solo post with that link tonight or tomorrow, I would very much appreciate it. We didn't have time to do all of that in the confines of this call tonight, but it is available and accessible. So thank you both for putting in the time to do that. A lot of times studying verbiage and watching role playing really builds our own confidence. And if you need to take notes on their verbiage, and you need to practice with your children or your spouse, you can see the confidence in these women and the conviction, and that has come from practice. Nothing else is going to grow that other than doing it and practice and doing it. So Kristy, I can't thank you enough for your time tonight. I can't thank you enough for the inspiring leadership you're giving all of us on this big, beautiful team. We are so excited to watch you continue to grow and soar. We will absolutely have you back. And I mean, with the busyness of your life, thank you. Thank your spouse and your children for sharing a piece of you tonight and over 30 minutes of your time. Please share in the chat, everyone, your gratitude for Miss Kristy. We will see you all next Monday. Oh, we didn't even talk about the homework assignment. Okay. Kelly and Tyler and Lauren, I actually didn't talk about this, but we want to keep this week simple. This week is about family. This week is about loving on others, showing your gratitude. I will share with you, it's not too late to do this because it is the season of gratitude, but I pulled a report that has all of my customers that has made a purchase, my personal customers in the last, I did 3 months. You could do 30 days. You could do 6 months, whatever you please. And I sent them a card. I actually had cards made with a note of gratitude, and I mailed them a packet of our bone broth. You do not have to include any product. You can make this very cost effective for what you want your return on investment to be. You could send gratitude text messages, a gratitude email, however you want. If you could pour into at least 10 customers this week, thank them for their purchases, thank them for being a customer, just acknowledge their presence and what they bring to your organization and your life. That is homework step number 1. That again, it doesn't have to cost you much or anything, but be intentional about it. It is the season of gratitude, especially this year more than ever before. And then we would love to see a gratitude post for what Isagenix nutrition or opportunity or this industry has brought you and your life this past year, especially. So sometime between now and next Sunday, if you would pour in this whole give thanks concept or post publicly, that could go really far for souls that are looking for what you found. Kelly, Laura, Tyler, do you want to hop in with any other homework assignments? Oh, and then for the video, I want all of you to please watch the role play video of Kristy and Sonia that will get reposted on our mastermind page. Please watch that, make a comment in the comment box below once you do, and add in what value it's brought to you and your commitment to start instituting that right now in your businesses. If you're not doing Zoom calls, if you're not doing phone calls, if you're just hiding behind the text, let's hear your commitment to start making these changes. There's one thing I know for sure: leadership and growth leaves clues. That whiteboard behind Kristy is the greatest clue I hope all of you gathered the last 30 minutes, that she's doing the do and what they're doing is working. So if we emulate that, it's going to work for all of us. So does anyone have anything else to add or any questions for Miss Kristy tonight? Thank you all for your time and being here. It's the most precious commodity you could ever give, and I appreciate you. Kristy, again, thank you so much. You're wonderful in every way. We'll get the recording up tomorrow, you guys. Thank you. Have a great night.